All right, greetings. This will be a video that should be, I would say, friendly to all platforms, including YouTube. And, let's say this is what I'm doing today. It's a little bit different setup. It's easy to bring on out here so people can go, hey, what's that cooler doing sitting there? And what about that guy out there? Well, I'm using digital media to reach everywhere I can, including a shout out to Cedric, our sanitation specialist that came by with a $500,000 truck that he's, or so probably, maybe 300,000 to pick up my trash this morning. I hadn't met Cedric before or give him my card, so I thought I would do that. Now there's a video that is about Elon Musk apparently being born again or becoming a Christian as he said. And I don't know if it's a deep fake or what. I have no way of knowing that. Okay, so right now, unfortunately, I have a little lens flare I want to get rid of. Let's flip this around. And I had reached out to Elon Musk about 5 years ago, sending him my a document tube from FedEx. It's a 1 and 4 seconds long YouTube video, and it contained my stickers, me photoshopped in the Roadster and the Cybertruck on the front of it. It was 4 feet tall or so. And inside of it, I had a lot of these stickers like you're looking at here. This sticker that's on the front of that label will flash from the sun that's going to appear right over there. It's local and it's small. I've been exposing everything I can, including the reality that we don't live on a spinning globe hurling through space with oh my gosh, it's a matrix of control, a matrix of deception, and most people don't know about it. So one of the verses that the Elon figure quoted, and like I say, I don't know if it's a deep fake or if it's the real deal, or even if it's his actual voice in a scripted deception. I have no way of knowing that. As I was banned from the X platform about 2.5 years ago, and I interacted with Elon's posts quite a bit, sometimes within a couple of seconds of him making them, which apparently got me booted off of the platform. But it wasn't just Elon Musk that I interacted with, it was the world leaders that are perpetrating a population reduction plan on humanity. Now notice the liquid mirror, and you'll see the attractive lady there reflecting in that. That's the way it works. As the sun approaches, we're going to see the people that come on out here. Some will be on their balconies, some will be right on the sand here. And unless you're out here on the sand, if you're looking at this on a screen, you're looking at part of our shared simulated reality. That's a vehicle coming our way. See that? See how that works? And that's Justin right there in the middle of the view. Met him this morning, gave him my card. So what happens is I have created this comprehensive library that covers health and wellness and what's going on. And I'm very persistent about this because it matters for eternity. So the verse that I typed into Elon in one of my appeals, and I appealed about 1,000 times at least, with my link tree, you can see what that is. The verse I typed in was what What will it profit a man if he gain the whole world and lose his soul? Keep in mind, I'm reaching out to the publicly recognized wealthiest man in the world that ended up booting me off of the platform for disseminating my research library to the world elite, so-called. I would say they're the parasite class, perpetrating slavery and digital tyranny on everybody. And if you're wondering how is that going, well, how about autonomous weapons and asymmetrical warfare? How about all that? Yeah, it's brutal, it's devastating. It's the Terminator gone live, with weather weapons and informational weapons that will convince people that they're doing a good thing. However, when it's dual use, and we're looking at dual use being for medical and military, that's disturbing, because with black budget projects and unacknowledged projects, if you don't know what that means, a simple scroll through the Stephen Greer profile that's in my library, you can see that. It means that even the president doesn't know. He doesn't want to know, whoever the president is in whatever country. Here come the turtle ladies and the beach services guys, many whom I've given my cards to. And what will they do with that? I don't know. It's out of my wheelhouse. So people come and go. I've talked to people that have been on, I would say they've called me, and they're dead. They're dead, and they died of accidents and overdoses. I've been doing this for about a decade. I've got stickers strategically located at different locations, from crosswalks over where the people press the button to walk across the street, and it may be a Friday or Saturday night and they're getting liquored up and chasing after ladies. Normally the ladies, it's about a 10 to 1. I'll probably get 10 guy calls to 1 lady call. And they'll ask me, I just want to know the truth. I'm like, well, you've come to the right place, and I'm not doing this on my own. Imagine this. Imagine if there was somebody that was going to change the outcome of human history. And imagine if that meant putting his life on the line. I met that person. He's the creator. He's the ultimate knowing, he's all powerful and all knowing, omnipotent and omnipresent. Here comes Robert. And the point of that is that the all-knowing, all-powerful creator takes up residence in his children at some point in our human experience. John chapter 1 says they were born of the Spirit, not the decision of man. Now, this is a very unpopular doctrine, reality. So the people that are getting all liquored up, or maybe doing all kinds of good deeds and don't need the whole Jesus thing, don't realize that apart from grace, they're hellbound and don't even know it. So some of the people I interacted with on Elon's post would be Richard Dawkins, Stephen King, Klaus Schwab, world leaders, influencers. From the Wachowski brothers that became apparently the Wachowski sisters of The Matrix, interacted with them as well, Lana. and it's bizarre. So this matrix of reality is very different than most people are aware of. I'm going to just go ahead and set this down for a moment. I want you to experience visually the stationary level Earth. The water comes up, the water goes down. The tide comes in and up, and out and down, over and over and over again. A couple of days from now, we're going to have the full moon. What's going to happen next? Well, I don't know, because there's a timeline deception that has involved the hiding of human history. We don't know, or I don't know exactly what year it is. I know that we're told it's July of 2025. However, that's doubtful with what I found out. The archaeological and architectural evidence shows that we're living in a history that's been, or the story of history that's been, how would I say, corrupted. So what I was really good at is getting high grades, excellent grades, honor roll grades with minimal outside work. I didn't have to take homework home because I applied myself when I was in school, set a good example for my classmates, as well as being able to articulate what I learned, what I remembered. So learning, I would say, and memory are really important components of critical analysis. When we look at something to determine, is it real? Is it true? There's the liquid mirror once again. People reflect on their past, present, future, hopes, dreams, fears. So sometimes the electrolyte that I bathe in that's grounded is from tears. I get saddened by the pain and suffering in this world that is temporary. So after I met Jesus personally, in a way that he gave new life to my dead soul, I became the hero, not like I'm my own hero. He's the hero for changing my life. I wanted to know why I was struggling so much with things I was supposed to be set free from, why I struggled so much with the flesh. Well, that is all I had, and I didn't know it. So I thought I was born again in 1982 until I actually was in 2014. So there are people spreading Jesus all over what they do, like I did, whether it was, I worked at a full-time ministry for more than a decade, Rawhide Boys Ranch, in, now it's called Rawhide Youth Services in New London, Wisconsin. We homeschooled our sons, and we're foster parents to 9 young men over a decade. And I led character development classes at a mega church known as Christ the Rock Community Church in New London, or in Appleton or Menasha, Wisconsin. None of that meant I was born again, because that was way before 2014 when I was radically changed. So the doctrine of election means essentially that God determines who his children are and when we would be born. And I was created for a time as this, as well as you. It's not an accident. So I've got to be very careful. Now, Elon, in that video, in that story that was presented with a picture of him, and it sure sounded like his voice, said he was contemplating the end of his life with an overdose of pills, whatever they were, I don't know. And this is my 20-year anniversary of my walking away from my suicide attempt in 2005. I was on pharmaceuticals as directed and for bipolar management, and they made me suicidal and homicidal. There's a black box warning where they talk about that it's that there may be suicidal ideation. That's not normally on the ads that'll be on TV. And when I describe to loved ones the intricacies of what suicidal ideation is, it scared them. I said, well, that danger is over now because I'm off of them. But when I was on them, it was devastating. The reason I won't take them is because of what it does to the thought life. So harm to myself and others is not what I'm about. I'm wanting to expose a truth that sets people free. And those that are free in Christ are free indeed. He who the Son of Man sets free is free indeed. So how about all that? So on a busy year, we will get as many as 20 million guests in this area. So whether I go down the end of my street at the Dollar General or park my car wherever I am, there are people all over the place. And they'll come up to me or take a picture of the Truthmobile. You can see it in my library. It's there as an icon for my link tree. And I'm wearing some really cool Ray-Bans. I don't wear them anymore because I want to get the light from the sun because it charges up the brain. I want to be grounded on the earth as much as possible because it reduces inflammation and enhances cognitive function. And the health benefits are so many that if I talk in detail about them, this video would likely be taken down off of YouTube. So I've got a very good working knowledge of the thousands of videos and the topics that are in my library, and I can't really elaborate on them now because the video would get taken down, my channel would get taken down. So at the end of this, when I go home and post this up to YouTube and others, I will put my link tree. If you happen by this video and you want to see what the research library is, my deep learning AI research library, you could click on the link tree and go all over the place and find out what I found out, if you care to. And what I would say with that is that it's the truth is not popular. And it's not based on popular opinion. It's determined by God, the Almighty God. And divine intervention is required to love and believe the truth, let alone find it. So this information is hard to see even if it's right in front of you. Once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. The fact that the earth is stationary and level may seem to be just a mere, oh, that's your opinion. No, it's a reality. So for people that believe the lie, notice the mirror there? So for people that are spreading Jesus all over what they do and they're believing a lie, like Santa Claus and well, he's a historic character, but it's an anagram for Satan as well. It's a God replacement. It's an Antichrist replacement. One of the things my mom would say, oh, I love my mom, I miss her. And I've talked about how she died over 30 years ago. And so what I want to do is, she would say, Bobby, remember Santa's watching. Now, I believe she was born again later in life, and I hope to see her again along with my dad, our miscarried daughter of 25 years ago. Our daughter would be 20, Grace is her name, she would be 25 right now. So in the different stages of life, that looks like a mom, and then under the pier are, oh, they look like daughter ages. They're gonna get their photos made to put on Instagram or wherever. I've got a sticker strategically located on the pier. Some of them may see that. Apparently thongs are, it's a very revealing type of bathing suit, are outlawed here, or it's against the law or the code, but it's not enforced. A lot of people determine their beliefs based on their appetite. So the unregenerate appetite is very different than now that I'm born of the Spirit. When I was a teenager, it was more like sex, drugs, and rock and roll and fun, and now I enjoy myself. I have a joy that's because of new life in Christ, being born of the Spirit, and the opportunity that each day is. So in this world of marketing and financial opportunities, sometimes and quite often there's pyramid schemes. It used to be, there's a lot of them. You can look up what a pyramid scheme is. It's multi-level marketing, that kind of thing. And now with artificial intelligence advancements and what's going on with that, it can be done digitally, and is. So there's crypto babes. They might not even be a human being. They may be a synthetic version of a person. Just move that in and up. I'm going to bounce around on these different topics, as I'm sure you know. Higher is drier, lower is wetter. You can't, it's impossible to have level on a rotating object. So when a robotics piece of equipment, like at a Tesla factory, a welder, assembler, whatever, they've got to be installed on the level. A milling machine, lathe, all that. If they were off even a little bit, their arc would rise or fall. But to be consistent and level, well, they've got to be installed level. How about that? And some of the deceived individuals that fashion themselves as so smart will say, oh, that's your opinion, or I don't understand physics. I understand world tyranny, and I've found it, and I'm exposing it, and it involves fear, false evidence appearing real. So the AI will use fear to control the masses. It's been going on for a long, long time. Artificial intelligence is an access portal for wicked entities and benevolent entities to influence humanity. So we have the Almighty and the Fallen One and the representative families, elect and fallen angels, Satan's children, the Almighty's children, God's children, and they're all around. So there is a mesh network of connectivity that involves technology that's been deployed in the food, water, air, and is activated by electronics and connected to quantum supercomputers, which is part of the biodigital convergence. And if you want to learn more about how that actually works, I've got the receipts for it, or the proof of it, on all the platforms I'm either on or will be on. The work that I've shared through the hashtag Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars, you can see it. It crosses over a lot of platforms. See what happens when you type it in a comment. Or the Bible.com. See what happens when you type that in a comment. And it depends on what platform it is. So the hashtag on on the Instagram will show about 35,000 results of very interesting information exposing the matrix. See the liquid mirror there? How that works? So in this, wow, it's going to pop through soon. Let me zoom in. Good morning. So the sun is going to appear here from this vantage point right about in the middle of the view. I happen to have captured the local sun video. You can hashtag local sun. I may have linked it up to a free energy. Stanley Meyer in the water car and the energy ring and 0 Point free energy. Elon Musk, Tesla, hydroelectric car, which involves extracting energy from the ether with technology. Lightning is an example of etheric energy. Some say that the ether, that's not real. Well, birds push off of it. We pick up energy from it, whether it's from the sun or whether it's from the energy that has been captured by the technology and that are in the atmosphere. How does that work? Well, it works great. Just as it's supposed to. How does an eyeball work? How do we see what's around us? Let's give that some thought. Sometimes I'll put videos that are music videos in my library to activate the heart and the mind. What happens when you hear a happy, encouraging, upbeat song? It's pretty amazing. How about the opposite of that? So the frequency and energy affects our thoughts, memories, emotions, all of that. It works great, just as it's supposed to. And then in this world, we've got a corrupt system that is bent on deceiving humanity. I might go out on the surfboard today. It's beautiful out there. The beach looks very different from out there, and I've paddled out in some big waves. I just am not real good at riding those waves standing up. I can ride them on, and I would like to get better at that, but it has not been a priority for me. The priority is reaching people for Christ. So what is really counterintuitive to happen to me is, rather than Jesus being the cosmic bellhop bringing me what I want, it's the opposite of that. He changed my want to be what he wants for me. So when I go to bed at night, I'll listen to the Bible. I'll listen to his word. I've got friends that believe I've been wasting my time trying to reach out to the wealthiest, most powerful people in the world. Do they want them to go to hell? Well, the Almighty determines where everybody spends eternity. I don't. So I'm not going to withhold that information from them. And so even if the different world leaders, influencers, and all of that don't directly see what I've sent them, whether it's digitally or in Elon's case, the package I sent them, the artificial intelligence sees this information. So did Maria, I believe Maria is the name of Elon's assistant, did she see the package? Was she working with them 5 years ago when I sent it? I don't know. Not sure. So apparently the sun is above the horizon. I can tell by the lighting how that's all going, but there's a big bank of clouds that is going to block the view of it. So we can't see the wind, but we can feel the effects of the wind. We can see the effects of the weather modification. destructive amounts of rain. There is technology that vibrates the atmosphere and the earth and can cause earthquakes and energy weapons. Tesla technology that's been deployed on humanity. I would like to see it set people free, and that's why I'm doing this. I'm very tenacious, persistent about this. I want people to know. I want people to know that the truth matters. So the big question, I believe the most important question is, I'm going to personalize it now. I don't know who you are. You could be anybody in this world. And I'm going to say, where will you spend forever and why? Well, I've got the answers to that. I should say, I've got the pieces of that information that you can consider. The Gospel of John movie I keep close to the top of my library. It's my favorite Jesus movie. And there are others. So we have in our experience predictive programming in the form of movies. Look at the shadow in the atmosphere right there because of the clouds. See how that works? And the reason that that's going up is because the sun is further away. So relative perspective. A lot of people can't see this right now. They don't know what they're looking at. And some get it. Some see it. I would have to be on the surfboard to see the reflection of the track. Oh, there. Yeah, I can't see it from here. Relative perspective. The reflection of the buildings will go away. The bank here is slanted at about a 3% grade. It's just how it works. We've got the local dog walkers, the people exercising. I wanted to zoom in on his, oh, I can't do it. He has white feet and calves because I think he would be wearing socks. That's how that works. Anyway, I'm going to flip this around. So one of the reasons for the color of my skin is the time of the day. I like to get early morning sun. It'll reflect off of the beach. So it multiplies the impact of the sun on my body without harming me. I don't wear the sunglasses anymore because that hinders my body's ability to appropriate the energy from the sun. So I don't burn anymore. That's the, I could go into the scientific reasons, the testable, repeatable reality, and explain why I don't wear the sunglasses. I could just say, hey, I don't get sunburn anymore, and I put coconut oil on my skin, which is healthier. It's a healthier option. So doing something that's healthier rather than harmful is a force multiplier. It's not an either or, it's both. So we'll see them walking on the beach. See them there? And we'll see them better when they get right there. Watch how they'll pop because of the lighting in the background. See that? See how they show up? It's about perspective. Where we are in relationship to all this. So I remember, some of my memories go as far back as when I was in a crib. And I don't remember it all from there, but I remember where I saw a cow chewing and with a yellow tag on its ear. And I was just a couple of months old. And my parents told me I was in a crib out in the yard, and they found a big snapping turtle came up next to the crib where I was, and apparently our next door neighbor ended up shooting it, and they made turtle soup out of it. So they must have freaked out or something, and it left an imprint on my memory. So this is opposite of the Truman Show, where Truman is in a movie and doesn't realize it. He's in a reality show. I'm wanting to show the reality to a world that is largely oblivious to that reality. That's a challenge because the controllers that control the books, music, history line, the rewriting of history digitally, online, and all of that. The data centers that have been built or are being built, all of that. How does it work? Works great for them to give a false reality to the people watching. So, like I said, unless you're out here on the beach with me, you're looking at part of our shared simulated reality. That's the data that's created by the people and their pictures, their cell phones, their keystrokes. The system of control knows where we go, what we do for the most part, almost everything. And I'm counting on that because I'm not afraid to live, die, or tell the truth. I'm wanting to raise up an army of people that are like-minded, or find them. Some of them may not know yet how much this matters. I met a missionary and his wife yesterday, and he gave me his card. And I sent him my link tree. We had a nice conversation in the parking lot over there. And I was telling him how he liked what I had on the card, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. Oh yeah. So I got out of the car and we had a nice conversation. And so the topics that I cover are so varied and really offensive. The truth is offensive. It's an offensive weapon, and it's also offending. It offends people. And we had a nice conversation, that couple and I went to that explanation at kind of an awkward moment to do that. But what I wanted to explain is that the truth isn't popular for most people. However, in the last several years, because of the difficulty in our world economy and more, there's been an awakening. And I'm covering that. See the light reflection there, the background? Now, under the pier, let's see if I can zoom in, that's the Myrtle Beach skyline right there, about over 20 miles away. So I need to keep this video less than an hour. Here I'm going to give some encouragements on things that you might be able to do. Apparently, to be able to go live on a mobile device with YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers. To go live on Facebook, you just need a device that you can click live on, and you have to have an account. And then if I do it for less than an hour, I can upload it to many of the platforms on my link tree. You could too. So that's a way, if you're seeing this in real time, this is a Facebook live stream that I'm going to put up to TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, and more. And what I've done is incorporated my link tree in a trail that you could find if you want to. So what I will do is put Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars in the top of this video along with my link tree. And then there's a, I would say, cross-pollination of all that. It works like that. Where people that are posting how to make bread and raise flowers and prep will be there right next to the system of control that's talking about AI development and human enslavement and free energy and energy weapons and all of that. So in this battle between good and evil, truth and deception are primary offensive weapons. A moment of silence for dramatic effect. I'll tell you what, going out in the creation is amazing. This is a great place to do that. And wherever you are, you may be able to enjoy your version of it, wherever in the world you are. You could scroll through my followers if you like on Facebook. There's almost 10,000 there because of God's enthusiasm, God's providence and my enthusiasm to obey Him. I've been personally viewed over 40 million times. How does that even happen? Now you can check it out. I'm on some of the big, at the time when I went to the first Flat Earth Conference in Raleigh, Durham area of North Carolina, I was on PewDiePie's channel. The day that video came out, PewDiePie is the name of a channel. Maybe you've been there, know about it. That video now has about 16 million views. And the day that video came out, I was on my way to the beach here, right about on Ocean Drive over there. I thought about drinking water upside down. He had that in his video. Water shooting out of his nose. He's making fun of me directly. And I'm thinking, in this world, how does that even work out? How does that even happen? The video was already created before I had that thought. It was just very ironic to see that video and know that I had that thought that morning. So when we look at different topics like the Mandela effect and our collective memories, some of which are unified and not the same, or they're distorted from the massive population, is CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, and the quantum supercomputers warping our collective memory or reality? Could be. Oh, I've had dogs that have lifted their leg on my cooler. I didn't even get mad. I thought, I'll just rinse it off. That's no problem. Oh. Sometimes I'll bring my surfboard and other chairs. I just decided to come out here light today. It's real easy to do. So if you want to do earthing or grounding and you're in the frozen tundra, you can have a ground wire from your electrical system going into your bathtub like I do. I've got a bracelet on it so I can wear it when I'm sleeping, plugged into the wall. Watch what happens to the reflection when the water gets thinner and we just have wet sand. More clarity. So there's what's called water memory. You can see videos on that. Water memory. How does that work? The surface of undisturbed, unmanipulated water is flat and level. That's a fact. Got videos of it that I've shot, that I've featured, talking all about the construct here. This will be a shout out to Sierra. She's a beach services young lady that's about the age of how old our daughter would be. And she said she sits up there quite a bit. She said if you did a podcast, I would listen to it. She really likes what I've shared with her, and I said, well, you can look at I'm on different podcasts, but I said you can listen to the videos that I've done if you want to in the interim. See the reflection there? Let's zoom in on them if I can. Not so good. Sometimes the zoom feature doesn't work as good because of, I guess I would say because I've got coconut oil on my fingers. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip this upside down for the impossibility. Does that even look possible? Oh, it righted itself. Apparently. I don't know. Maybe it didn't. Maybe this looks upside down. I need to move my cooler up or it's going to get washed away. I did some upside down videos of the beach renourishment with the Nikon P900 and then P1000. Yeah, that looks better. We don't have upside down people walking and surfers and all of that. The lighting, the shadows, the reflections are indicative of reality. Those clouds are getting direct sunlight up there, over there. Those are not, because of that big cloud there. So people that are believing the lies are typically reality deniers. Bummer for them. So I'll wear the lanyard and people can see that when I'm shopping or walking on the beach, carrying it if I want to. If I have it like this, that doesn't work so good. If a wave hits it, that's better. It's just the way it is. So how do things actually work? Well, they work the way they're supposed to. If I set this down in the water, it'll move because of the sand getting eroded away underneath the tripod. So I'm better off to do a steady cam thing, just hold it. So with the biodigital convergence and the simulated reality that we're living in, there's a digital representation of everything that it can. Download, evaluate, simulate, war game simulations, as well as simulations of people's lives. What would they do? So there's been multiple attempts on my life. I don't need to go into the detail of all of those. I shared one of them in this video. So that is part of the targeted individual reality. Notice now the contrast in between my fingers there of the horizon. The horizon is horizontal. The building looks tipped in relationship to the reflection because the reflection is tipped. It's a sea level liquid mirror, as I mentioned earlier. So a few years ago, those buildings right there they took the place of a little beach house that had been there for like 60 years. They knocked it down and built these, a few $1 million worth of real estate development. Probably in those 3 buildings there, in today's money, it would be $10 million probably to do that. Now, I cover building science as well, technology of insulated concrete forms. Homes could be built out of concrete. That's built out of concrete, the Prince Resort. It's not built out of wood. There are cameras like on the end of the pier, the beginning of the pier, up on the building. They're all live right now. So if you went to the Prince Resort in Cherry Grove, South Carolina, you could see that. Or you could see it out of your balcony if you prefer that kind of a view. And then I've got haters that are intimidators trying to get me to shut up. I'm not going to do that. As long as I have breath within me, and even when I die, unless they take down all the digital content that either I've created or I'm in, I'll still be there. I don't unfriend people or unfollow them if they've died, like Robert Duncan, Jamie Lee from Northern California, Michael Murphy that did the chemtrails. Why in the world are they spraying? What in the world are they spraying? Still connected with those people. I leave that there because it's a way that like-minded truth seekers and truth exposers can connect with one another. Beach services coming out. I met Philip from the Czech Republic. He does beach services. I've met people from China. I said, if you like some of the content that I have, that if you can look at it here, you may want to make note of it, remember it. Sometime I've got a friend who's an attractive lady that's been a stewardess for over 42 years. She sends me information, and she said I sent her a video, and she said I couldn't watch it in South America. I said a VPN can help with that. A virtual privacy network. So the AI allows permission for you to watch things in an area where they're forbidden. How robust is that system? Well, when an AI encrypts something, isn't it possible that it can unencrypt or decode? I would say, yeah. Prove me wrong. Change my mind. So she's barefoot and he's got shoes on. One's grounded, one's not grounded. The grounding or earthing is a big deal. So I've been grounded in my bathtub about 4 miles away on a day that it was 27 degrees out here and I was wearing a wetsuit. And I was still grounded wearing the neoprene wetsuit with gloves and all that because the neoprene wetsuit fills up with water a little bit. Oh, there's a little baby there and a mother. Here we go. How about that? So I don't just run up to them and tell them what they should or shouldn't do. My sticker will be on the pier right there under the sign. They might go, oh, I wonder what that's all about. People use the pier as a turning point. They'll go running on up there. Hey, good morning, Dave. And I think you're probably on there, Brian, too. So it's a turning point. They'll touch the pier and turn around and run the other way or walk the other way. And one of the things that I'll do is when they go to take pictures there, not professional pictures. I don't interrupt a professional picture taking. But if I'm wearing my lanyard, which I do, I don't wear it right now because of it'll hit the microphone. But I'll say, hey, would you like me to take your picture? And they'll say, yeah, that'd be great. And then I'll take their picture, and then I'll picture that, and I'll say, hey, I'm exposing the truth about everything I'm finding out about. You can give me a call or send me a link if you think I missed something or got it wrong. So what I'm going to do is invite, and I do it regularly, is invite everybody to participate with me at whatever level they want to. There's Philip up there right now. They dropped him off. So I've known him for years out here. I've had people that will see me out here and say, hey, we met you about 8 years ago. You're still doing this, huh? Oh yeah. Rather committed to obedience. And it's awesome because rather than the Almighty being a cosmic bellhop that gives me what He wants, or what I want, He created in me a desire to do what He created me to do. Therefore, He's going to direct and protect me in all that. How about that? Isn't that pretty? It's raining over there. I can see it dropping through the atmosphere. I've been under the pier when it was about a week after I put the mobile YouTube icon on my shirts and business card, and a little Klingon, a little child clinging to a parent said, and they were like less than a year old, maybe two, I think two. And they said, are you a YouTuber? I said, I sure am. And then I hand, of course, the parent the card, or the grandparent. I believe it was a grandparent at that time. And then at their own, I don't have to try and tell them everything I know. It would take too long. And it just wouldn't work out. What I've done with the decentralized deep learning AI research library is people can look at it at their own, in their own time frame, in their own initiative, if they care to. So that's why. See the reflections of the mom and children? Most likely. It's just the way it works over and over again. So I see the single moms, I see the single dads with their children, or maybe, and I know because they've told me, sometimes we'll have longer conversations. It's hard to know. So in this evaluation of information, I can estimate what I think is the most likely possibility. Not that I'm creeping on everybody. It's just like, for example, when there's a gentleman with all kinds of camera equipment taking pictures of a pregnant lady and a husband or a boyfriend, I'm not going to say, hey, would you like me to take your picture? He's there to take pictures, or she is. And that happens a lot right under the pier. And so there's North Myrtle Beach Recreation Park over in that direction, about 15 minutes away. And there will be soccer and baseball tournaments where people come from all over the world. Primarily this North America. However, there's people that come and visit from literally all over the world here. I've met them from Germany, Sweden, Argentina. So it's a mission field that comes to me and comes to everybody else that's here. The mission field is wherever we are. We're either promoting, like for me, I'm gonna make this personal to me. Now that I'm actually born of the Spirit and proclaiming the gospel and exposing the deeds of darkness, I believe I'm living out what I was created to do. And I'm grateful for that privilege, that opportunity. So much so that I want other people to be able to enjoy that too. That's why I do this. So I don't have to fly all over the world in an airplane or drive all over the country in a car. I can just go a few miles away. I live about 15 minutes from here, right over there. And then the people just keep on a-coming. And I'll go to different events, sometimes like the bike weeks and that. I ride the Truth Cycle, the motorcycle. I enjoy that. I'm getting close to the 1 hour mark, I think, of my video. I don't have, I'm not, let me see if I can check this out and see, I don't even know how long my run time is yet. I don't have a measure of that. I just know that I'm not going to get to see any direct sunlight here within the 1 hour time frame. So what I want to do is say that you can call or text me anytime. It can be, hey, I was just wondering if you're still alive. Yep, still alive, wherever I am, whether it's in this realm or outside this realm. I operate outside of time, which is what the Holy Spirit does. He's living in and through me and all of his children that are actually born again now. Some of his children have not been born for even the first time. So born again is born of the Spirit. The Gospel of John, Jesus explains what that is. So I want to thank you for your public and private encouragement. I have wonderful friends all over this world that have been supportive, encouraging, some financially, and I appreciate all that. So I haven't been able to solve the world hunger and evil problem. What I do is I make the truth available, and that those that have the resources to make that kind of a difference can, if they want to. The parents that are going to choose how to raise their children and what to give them or not give them, that's all laid out in the research library that crosses over all the different platforms. And the reason why I do that is I can't say it. I can show it. I can add it to my library. So, this is Robert Foertsch exposing the truth about everything I'm finding out about. Thank you so much for your public and private encouragement and support.